You're live. How do you see where anybody's,
I don't know. I don't do live stream.
where the comments coming up?
Ask Tyler those questions.
Show live chat messages. Yeah, it is.
Show my Fortnite skills. You got mail.
Is anybody out there? I don't know which way is better, this way or this way. Whoa, that's weird. I don't know what that was. Maybe everybody's still in bed.
Yeah. Oh, Tyler. Tyler.
What?
You know that huge tree in Fortnite? The huge tree?
Yeah.
Whenever you destroy it, you get like 200 wood.
I got it.
I'm gonna
I
check my
opened up
phone
that
and
chest and there was a scar in it.
see if this crazy thing's doing anything.
Just gather some of this.
Where do the comments pop up,
I
Tyler?
think they just pop up on the screen.
The side of the screen.
Oh, well, nobody must be watching because no, there isn't. Nobody's on there. It would show. I should have made a video talking about possibly doing a live stream.
And then you do the live stream.
I don't like how. Oh, there's somebody here. Whoops, I just dropped.
What's good, my
Kevin Lilly, how you doing this morning? They disappear quick. This is just a test. I've never done this before, so just trying something different to see if anybody was awake this morning. Everything coming in good? Can you hear me? I know there's some background noise. Hey, Tyler, what's happening? How's the weather in Michigan this morning? Well, 3 people watching now. I must have woke everyone up. Yeah, we had, well, it's 35 now here, but it was 20 something this morning. I just glanced at it. I don't know. There was frost on the windshields of the vehicles, so it was cold enough to frost. It was real cold yesterday morning. I think it was in the low 20s. But it's a nice sunny day today. I think they talked like upper 40s or close to 50 today.
Oh, llama! Sorry. I had to at least once.
So what's everybody up to today?
How many people are watching?
Yeah, you and me both. 3.
3.
Dad's rolling in it, man.
Hey, Bandit, how are you doing today? Get your trees all cut up?
Wait, hold on one sec. Can you watch yourself?
Probably. Well, I'm watching myself now.
Playing with yourself.
I'm new to all this. I didn't realize the comments popped up and disappeared so quick. I guess I don't know how to bring them back up. Unless I hit that. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, it's probably going to be nice down there today, Bandit. Yeah, I haven't started my tractor since fall. Hey, another Tyler. I did start the combine, when was that? A couple, 3 weeks ago. Started it up. I keep it at a friend's house, and we moved some stuff around, and I moved it out of the middle of the road and put it in a corner. Well, not in a corner, off to the side, so that we can move stuff around and get in and out a little easier. So it ran a few weeks ago. Yeah, that was about the same here, Bandit. We were somewhere in that neighborhood. I think they're talking around 50 today. Be a good day to work outside. Hey, Brad, how you doing? Snow melting yet? I'm surprised there's this many people watching. It's kind of a spur of the moment thing to see how this would work. Yeah. We had a little snow. Well, it tried to snow yesterday, but it was just for about 5 minutes. Just a couple flakes, nothing to worry about, but it was cold yesterday. But we haven't had snow on the ground for a couple weeks now. We got when was that? Tuesday. Was it Tuesday or when? I think it was Tuesday. I was working in Akron and it snowed off and on all day. You'd get just come down. It'd be a whiteout for about 15 minutes, and then the sun would come out and it'd all melt. And it just did that off and on all day. But I think the forecast this week isn't nothing to brag about. It's still going to be cold. Yeah, I haven't had green beer in about 20 years. Worst thing about green beer is it stains your teeth. Yeah. I don't even know if we're going to be that warm this week, Brad. Yeah, Bandit, that would be cool. Hopefully you get your problems worked out. It seems like you've had more bad luck with computers than most. I hardly ever get on a computer. Yeah. Yeah, Tyler. No hangover. That's cool. I hardly ever get on the computer. Oh, good, Brad. I'll check you out this afternoon then. Everything I do is either on the phone or this is on my iPad. I hardly ever get on the computer. So if anybody's ever sent me a private message on YouTube, I'm never on the computer, so I couldn't tell you if anybody's ever tried that or not for a while. Canadian welder farmer, where are you? What part of Canada are you from? Or are you in Canada? Or I'm assuming you're in Canada. See your comments a lot. Yeah, as far as Ontario, okay, well, you're just straight north of me then. I'm in south of Cleveland, about, depending on traffic, you can get there in under an hour to the city limits. Now, to get to downtown Cleveland, like football, baseball stadium, that's probably about a solid hour. But I'm not far from I-77, which will run you right up. It runs straight north and south in Ohio, from Wheeling, West Virginia, right to Cleveland. And then there's quite a few YouTubers up there in Ontario. Ontario Ag Guy and you and Muddy Springs. I think he's up there somewhere. And there's a couple others. Hey, Rodder, how you doing? How's the weather in Tennessee this morning? Yeah, that's funny you mentioned that, Jeff, and good morning to you. I'd never subbed to Will Sowers, but I just did. I was watching, he did a live stream, I think it was a week ago Friday, and I went, it was like an hour. I didn't have anything going on last night, so I watched that live stream. He's a really funny guy. I enjoyed watching that. And then I know a lot of you guys that I watch or follow him also, but yeah, I didn't realize what state he was in. I guess he's in New Mexico. Uh, Sounds like it's mostly desert. Well, I think the whole state's mostly desert anyhow. But hey, Josh, how you doing? How's the syrup going? Are you about done, or is it still flowing? Yeah, 5 o'clock somewhere. You got that right. But yeah, he seems like a pretty funny guy. And Anderson Cattle Company, I subbed to them too, and he seems like he's got a pretty good thing. I'm not exactly sure where he's at up there in Canada. If he's over by DLK Hay or where he's at, but just getting started. It's been some wacky weather here. I saw there's not too far from here. There's a little chunk of woods that they tap trees in. They last few years they've run plastic line, and every year it's a different. Probably within a few weeks of each other, but their last few years have been all over the place as far as when they get it out, and I don't know how much they get. But it's not, I don't know if it's real popular around here or not. There's a few, I see it here and there, but not a lot. I was out on the other side of Mansfield a week ago, and I saw a pretty good chunk of woods that had a lot of tubing running through it, right along Route 30. You could see it from the highway. They looked like they had a pretty good operation going out there last week. Yeah, we've been up and down. In February we hit 60 degrees a couple days. I think normally February is when they would start getting stuff strung out, tapping trees, and then usually if it's cold in February and it starts warming up 1st of March, that's when it'll flow. But we're just, our last few winters have been jacked up. If you go back 30 years ago, you could just about say this week this is going to happen, next week that's going to happen, but anymore it's so different. You don't know from month to month what's going to happen anymore. Just too unpredictable. Got a hand in the background there. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had the itch yet to get out there. I don't have many acres, so there's no point in pushing it. I'm going to try and no-till some corn this year, so that'll cut my tillage in half, or almost in half, so I'm going to jump on the no-till bandwagon here and try it out. Mainly, well, better for the soil for one, and between work and I help a guy out, it's a lot of time to be in the fields, try and cut some of that down. Yeah, you got that right, Bandit. That's a saying around here. You don't like the weather, wait a couple days, it'll change. Huh. How's your weather down there, Rodder? You about ready to get some stuff in the garden, or you got a little while yet? I know around here, for like onions and potato. Well, potatoes. I tried to plant potatoes early one year. Yeah, and they all rotted. I had to replant them. Yeah, how's your equipment search going, Brad? Well, I heard Texas is planting corn, and I think I was thinking Western Kentucky they were probably getting close. I don't know about Louisiana and them southern states if they kind of follow suit with Texas or not, but uh, yeah, that's always an issue with banker. Nobody likes to borrow money, but I don't know many people that have it laying around collecting mold. Yeah, if you've watched Big Tractor or Big Tractor Power, he's put some stuff on Instagram and whatnot about tillage down there in Western Kentucky. I didn't know if they were getting ready to plant corn or if they're just prepping for it. Yeah, yeah. Time for corn. Yeah, pretty wet still. Yeah, we're not real wet. We haven't had a lot of rain. Well, we had a bunch of rain a while back, but then it got cold, and it kind of zapped some of that. I don't know. It just dried everything up. Everything firmed back up. I tell you what, if we had week and a half of warmer, dry weather, there'd probably be guys doing stuff around here. I know they've been hauling manure and whatnot. Um,
Garrett, you need to get dressed, bud.
but we've had some frozen mornings here to people been getting out and trying to get some poop hauled. But as far as tillage and whatnot, now I haven't seen anybody out doing anything yet. A lot of fall tillage around here. Oh wow. Yeah, it seems awful early to plant corn that far north. I guess if they're on sand, wouldn't be too bad, but you still have to have warm weather. That's the fear around here. You get out, getting in, there's always a guy wanting to get in the 15th of April around here, but seems like every time they do that, we get about 2 or 3 wet weeks where it's a little cold and you just kind of, I feel bad for them. I probably worry more than they do about if their corn's going to come up. Oh, wow. Yeah, see, we haven't had much rain around here lately. We had quite a bit a few weeks ago, but we had some flooding and stuff, but it's all receded. And actually, I think the ground's fairly firm around here. Yeah, no kidding, Brad. Yeah, we get snow in April here. Yeah, that's a risk you take. You try and get it in, push the. I think the insurance date around here is probably at least the 15th of April for the big guys that have insurance, crop insurance. If you get out before the 15th of April and you lose it, they're not going to foot the bill. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is around here. I think the earliest I ever planted was the 25th one year. It was started warming up and it was dry. And I thought, you know what? Let's just get some corn in the ground. Everyone else was going gung ho. And it did all right. I think actually it came off about the 1st of October that year. Got dry late in the year and dried down nice. I know the yields were decent. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look, but no, it wasn't a record-breaking year, but that's a nice thing about getting in early. If you shell it, it'll dry. Usually you got those dry days when it's finishing up, and it'll help you dry down. I don't have a bin or anything. Let the elevator dry it and pay the price. There's still 6 people watching.
Yeah, crowd.
If you're still out there, Jeff, how many more loads of seed you got coming yet? Couple? I haven't watched that video yet, but I saw you got the first little bit of your seed. Yeah. I've thought about putting some rye in after beans in the fall just for a cover crop, but the thing that scares me about rye is you start getting a couple warm days and that stuff will just take off growing, and if you get rain and it gets wet, man, I've seen other guys around here do it, dairy guys wanting to chop it for hay or bale it, and all of a sudden you get a couple wet weeks and warm, and that stuff, next thing you know, it's headed out, and they go in there to spray it or do whatever, and they're rutting the field up. And so I've kind of, it'd be nice. I know it breaks the hard pan up and all that good stuff. Depends on the other guys bring each. Yeah. But I'm just afraid that I get, it's nothing to have 2-3 weeks in a row of rain once it starts warming up. Yeah, that's right, Bandit. And I can't afford a bin, and I don't have anywhere to put one. I'm just afraid that I'd get stuck behind that, and then once it gets that tall, yeah, you can burn it down, but it's still going to be there. I saw a guy a couple years ago. That stuff got up and headed out, and they sprayed it and went in. And I think they planted no-till beans into it, and shoot, that rye was still there in the fall. But if I had animals, I probably would just to. I don't have animals, so. Well, when I worked on the dairy, we planted rye every year. Yeah. Hey, Logan, how you doing this morning? Yeah, you got that right, Tyler. I got a list too, but with no animals and only not many acres, it's hard to. No kidding, Rod. Well, hopefully you get to feeling better. Yeah, everybody's sick right now, it seems like, or it's going around. It's up and down temps. Be 50 one day and then 20 the next, and then 40 and then 15. It's just up and down. It's hard to, once you do get a little fungus, it's hard to get rid of it. Yeah, like I was saying, yeah, Gleaner L. That's a decent sized machine, isn't it? An L, or are they a smaller one? I forget. I forget the letters. I know M's are bigger. I worked on a dairy, I had an F2. Hey, small town farmer, how's it going? Yeah. I could bank grain at the elevator and hope it comes up, or the price comes up, but I don't know. It's no more than I sell. I just sell it straight up. I don't bank any. Be my luck, the price would keep going down for the next few weeks. I think if you keep it in there too long, they start charging to store it, and if you don't get a 25-30 cent bump, you might as well forget it. You're not going to make anything. 1420 IH, Tyler. That'll handle 4 row. That 15-foot grain head. They're big though. You have to have a pretty good place to store it. I got a friend with a 1420, and it's pretty. I mean, I say big. It's not the new stuff big, but for an older, machine built in the late 70s, early 80s, it's a lot of tin, a lot of sheet metal. It'd be every bit as big as mine. Yeah, 4400 L. It's the wrong color, Brad. Yeah, I ran an F2 Gleaner once, just a gear drive, 4-row, narrow corn head, and had a 13-foot grain platform for it. It just putted along, but it got the job done. Yeah, it was like the 44, about the same size as a 4400 deer. It was an older one, so you had to swing the unload auger over and put a bolt in it or whatever to hold it. It didn't have a hydraulic swing. Yeah, Gleaner, I don't know. I hear. Yeah, I bet. How's your weather down there? You still digging into mud, small town farmer? A couple videos you posted and stuff. You had a lot of rain and mud too. 3,300. Yeah, that's a real small. I don't know if that'll handle a 4-row corn head or not. Probably 3-row, but I don't know about 4. Let's turn that down. That's very loud. What kind of Massey do you have, Canadian welder? Combine or tractor? Yeah, you got that right, Brad. Yeah, if you want to store, if you got animals or something, you want to bank grain, let the elevator do it. Like I say, I don't have animals and stuff, so I just sell straight up. I don't even contract hardly. I haven't contracted any grain in probably 5 years or better. I used to do that, and yeah, it's not so much muddy around here anymore. There's some spots, but it's firming up nice. We haven't had rain, any kind of measurable rain, for a couple weeks, so. "12 people, wow." Oh, somebody just left. Yeah, I didn't know what kind of response I'd get out of this morning. It was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. And never done it. Try it out once. Still frozen up there. Wow. Yeah, we've last few mornings have been real cold. There's probably a crust, but by like today with the sun out, 2675. How's the transmission on those? I've heard bad things about that series, but maybe that one's not as bad. I had my buddy, they had I think it was a 2705. I think that was a V8, and they got rid of that because they couldn't keep a transmit, or the shifting was kind of stupid. Yeah. Yeah, they were 2705. They had issues with the shifter. They got rid of it, and he bought what was that? It's one of the Datatronic series. It's 3160 or something like that. 4-wheel drive cab. It's like 170 horse, 160, 170 horse. Oh, your dad was an engineer on those? Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, transmission issues. Good engines, bad transmission. They're usually cheap, but that's probably why. A lot of horsepower and nothing driving them. Transmission for Dodge. I had what year was that? A 97 Dodge pickup. Had it for a long time before the transmission started giving problems. I think the torque converter clutch was going bad in it. I drove it for a couple of years that way, and then I sold it, and he drove it for 2 or 3 years that way before it finally died. I don't contract because I don't have enough to worry about.
It was a Saturday.
I mean, I only plant,
During school days.
I only farm just under 50 acres, so, you know, last year I had, what did I have, 11 acres of corn. So, you know, a contract for 500-600 bushel, to me it ain't even worth it. And then beans, I don't know, it just trying to watch the market every day and try and catch it on the high. I don't know. The way it usually worked is I'd contract. Well, I used to contract a little bit, and I'd, you know, wait for a price that looked right, and then a week later it'd be 30 cents higher. It's like, well, and then usually the price wasn't much different at harvest than it was, hey Ted, than it was at harvest time anyhow. So just, I don't know. Not much, Ted. This is just a spur of the moment, trying it out, see how it goes. There's no whiskey at this live stream. It's going to be kind of boring. No.
I think we got some.
We do have some whiskey here, but I don't ever drink it. Yeah, I know. Thousands. Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of guys around here that don't contract, but whiskey and popcorn, yeah. There are some guys in the area growing barley for the we were talking about contracting grain, Ted. Somebody asked if I contracted. I used to, but I haven't for quite a few years. It just seemed like the price hasn't really fluctuated much the last 4 or 5 years, ever since corn took a nosedive. All right, Tyler, we'll talk to you later. Maybe this afternoon if Brad goes live. What were we talking about? Contracting. Yeah, ever since corn took an... Yeah. Right. All right, take care, Rodder. Hope you get to feeling better. That's a thing. I don't even... I look at the paper a few days a week and see what grain's doing, but it doesn't hardly move. It doesn't seem... You know, back in 2012 was when that market tanked. We had a drought that year. I actually made the most money on corn I ever made that year with 116 bushel an acre corn, because it was I think I got, what did I get? Like 717 a bushel that year. But it was pitiful. I had corn waist high and head high that, you know, it just didn't have squat on it. I think I averaged 116 across the board and made more money. Yeah, I'm going to no-till, I think, 19 acres, Ted. 2 bean fields. I'm going to try and see how that goes. And, no, Brad, I think I have that DVR'd, but I never watch it. I used to watch it quite a bit, and then I haven't watched it in probably 3 years. It's when I've got 10 things DVR'd, I never watch them. It's kind of a waste. Yeah, the beans, I'm still debating. I may put the brush meters back in the planter and run the planter and try and split my rows. I'm still pondering that thought yet. I only have 13 acres. I can, with a grain drill, it's a couple hours of planting. With the planter, it's a few hours, but I'm still debating on that. Yeah, it's farmers are their own worst enemy sometimes when it comes to that stuff. Oh, yeah. See, our base is usually better around here because we have so many dairies. 9, 10 a bushel. Wow. Yeah, I had crappy yields that year, but I made more money than I ever made because the beans were actually like 1568. I think I got that year. I'd have to go back and look, but I got over 15 bushel or $15 bushel beans and $7 corn, and I think I had 40 bushel beans that year, which for a drought year wasn't bad. But the corn, yeah, the corn was pitiful. I had some corn that probably only went 80 bushel that year, and then some that was the upper end was maybe 125 or 30. But no, I was talking about barley. There's one guy that plants a little bit of barley. There's a couple breweries around, and I couldn't tell you what variety it is or whatever. It's something good for making beer, I guess. And then I saw in the paper here this week, they're having I think it's the county extension office is putting on a little program or a little seminar about this barley you can grow for beer. It's starting, there again, that's a little niche that guys could probably capitalize on, and the market will get flooded if anybody hears they're going to make any money on it. So, no, I'm not even going to bother with that. That I've never harvested a small grain, so I don't know how good or bad that would go. Wheat or anything. I thought about planting wheat last fall, but the market's just crap. Yeah, you can't figure on anything. You try and put all your eggs in one basket, you're going to lose out. It's not so bad for me because I don't plant many acres, but if I had hundreds or thousands, I'd do different things different. Yeah, I bet, Jeff. Hey, dude, how you doing? Any projects lately or video? Yeah, no videos lately. Yeah, there ain't nothing going on around here. Project wise, just I'll be greasing some stuff up here and changing oil in the tractor here for too long. Yeah, I heard a story around here about that, Ted, way back then when the market, I forget if it was on the upswing. I heard a story about a guy that had contracted beans with one co-op, and he contracted at, say, $8. Hey, Farm Wall Fanatic, how you doing? He contracted it. Let's say it was $8. I don't remember the numbers. I don't even remember the year. But then the price jumped like $2 a bushel in a month, and I heard that he sold everything to another outlet, and I never heard what happened. But I don't know how he got out of his contract. But that was a kind of a stink around here. Don't know how or why or how it happened, or I just heard stories, but then you can only take everything you hear with a grain of salt, it seems like. We don't know anyone that would stretch the truth. Yeah, gambling and farming, like soybean farmer said, it's kind of like legalized gambling, I guess. I guess it depends on how you look at it. But yeah, Ted, I'm debating on trying yeah. I don't know how all that, I've never not been able to fill the contract, so I don't know how that works. That's kind of part of the reason probably why I don't contract, is you never know what the weather's going to do. And yeah, that's another thing. Some guys, if the market's up a little bit, they'll want to try and get every bushel they can. I was always told to kind of think what you could get for a yield and then cut that in half. Oh, yeah, I don't know anything about insurance either. I've never had that. Never played that game. I know there's a lot of guys around here that do, but the bigger guys do. Us little, I don't even sign up the ground through the county extension and mess with that anymore. I did that once on some ground, and it's such a mess. Any you get other people's hands in the pot, and it's just kind of a pain. So it kind of is what it is the way I do it. You know, if the weather's good, great. If it's not, well. Yeah, the thing is, the field I had signed up, it drops off at the far end in the one corner just a wee little bit. I mean, it's nothing. And they said, "Oh, you can't till that field. That has to be no-tilled." Well, you're not going to tell me how I'm going to plant. It's been tilled for 100 years, and it's still there. It didn't ever washed away. It wasn't enough to erode. So I figure they can kiss my ass. I'm not coming back. Yeah, small town farmer. I don't have livestock, so I'm just corn and beans. Dustin Eitenmiller. I don't know you. Like 49. I'm just under 50 acres. I'm just a little guy. Yeah. It's I've done videos in that field too. It's the one corner of the field. I ought to walk out there and do a video on that this spring. Thank you, Dustin. Where are you located? What state, if you don't mind me asking? I'm in Ohio, if you didn't know. Yeah, I should do a video on that, what they wanted to consider. And the thing is we had, this was when I was farming land with another guy on the half. We signed that land up, and we had signed it up. We've been in there 3 years or something, and then like the fourth year, Illinois. Okay. Are you close to Rantoul? I was out there last summer for the Half Century of Progress show. I don't know all the little towns out there. Champaign is where we stayed, but so anyhow, so it was like the fourth year we had this ground signed up. I noticed the way they had the field laid out on the plot, there was a chunk they weren't considering it, and I said, well, wait a minute, this is all part of that field. It was like 2 acres. And they said, oh, really? 1 hour away. Okay, well, you were probably there then. They said, well, oh, really? And I said, yeah, we farm that part too. It's all, everything on the plot. I showed them, this is all farm. Okay. They said, okay, well, we'll have to send somebody out there and look at this. And I said, okay, well, whatever. Yeah, that's probably what they did. They saw the field had a little hump in it. So anyhow, they got back with me like a month later, and they said I think they sent a letter in the mail, and they said that part of the field can't be tilled. The grade was too steep for tillage or whatever. It would have to be no tilled, and I crumbled it up and threw it away and never went back. So yeah, I've never been back. I haven't signed an acre up since. They can stick it. I mean, if it was, there's ground around here that shouldn't be tilled that is. I can understand that, but this is nothing. I mean, it doesn't wash or anything if it's ripped up. I've fall plowed it before and it never washed, and so yeah. Yeah, the government, they have too much say in it anyhow, so the heck with them. Like I said, it'd be different if I had thousands of acres or even hundreds of acres. It'd be one thing, but for a little bit I'm farming, it's not worth the headache. And it was only paying like, I want to say $100 a year or something, so it wasn't even enough to mess with. And then you have to claim that that's income. You got to claim that. And the way I can't even remember how all that worked. There was somehow you could take money ahead on that. But I forget how that all worked, but I never, yeah, you got that right. They can stick it. I don't know. It was all a mess. I didn't understand half of it. And like I said, I wasn't paying much, so I've never signed anything else up since. But anyhow, back to that barley thing I was talking about. There was a field just down the road from me, less than a mile, half mile down the road. I thought it was bearded wheat, because it had a real fuzzy head on it and it looked like bearded wheat. But guy harvested like the second to last week of June, or I forget. Whenever it was about 2 weeks before the wheat came off, and I thought, wow, he put a little earlier variety out or something that he could get it harvested quicker, maybe double crop beans. Well, here I come to find out it was barley. And I worked on a dairy farm. We planted barley, but we planted it for feed. They claim the protein in it is the same as corn. So I can't even remember how or why. The guy started planting some barley, and then we double crop beans. I think we did that 1 year. Rented a no-till drill from the county extension and put some beans in. And I don't even think. See, this has been 25 years ago. I'm trying to think back now. They didn't make much for one, but I think we put them on a wagon and had a guy come out and extrude them. And then just fed them. They didn't mature to dry enough to sell them. I can't remember if we had a early frost that year or what happened, but it make pretty shiny straw. It's kind of like wheat straw. Kind of pretty straw. Yeah, we used to bale all kinds of. Everything was done with a square baler, small square, until. Oh, when I was the only one working there, then he bought a round baler, and we did a lot of round baling. But, yeah, dude, that's what I was talking about. They're doing that around here. Hey, Scotty, how you doing? Hey, Ontario Ag guy. This is just a spur of the moment thing. It's gone on for almost 50 minutes. Just trying this out, see how it worked. Hey, Scotty, we're gonna be back down your way this summer. I was gonna text you one of these days and maybe try and swing in and see you this time. Give you a little heads up. Maybe meet you and Soybean Farmer. But yeah, they're growing barley around here. There's one guy that has done it the last 2 years, and then I hear more people throwing into the mix that they're gonna give it a go. So they're probably gonna flood the market here. See ya, Brad. Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of breweries around here. Yeah, we'll be down there. Well, yeah, I'll have to get a hold of you, Scotty, and see what, because I think we'll leave on a Saturday, get down there Sunday, and then we leave Friday, I think. Yeah, Ontario Ag. I don't have a passport. I haven't been to Canada in probably, oh man, how long has it been? 20 years? We used to go to a NASCAR race up there in Michigan, and we went up there 3 or 4 years in a row, and then what we'd stay, I can't remember, it wasn't too far from Detroit. We'd have a hotel, and then we'd go to Windsor and have fun the night before, and then we'd get up early and go to the race, which seemed like clear across the state, but it probably wasn't. We were probably an hour from the racetrack, I think, where the hotel was, because the racetrack's out in the middle of nowhere. It may not be out in the middle of nowhere now, but it was back then. Yeah, Alberta. There's quite a few YouTubers up there. Is what's his face? Crap, I can't think of his name. Well, DLK Hayes up there, up that way. Who's the other big guy up there? No kidding, Josh. No, we just went to Windsor and bar hopped, and then we'd go back to the hotel. Yeah, uh, northern northern farmer or whatever. And then what about? I cannot remember that guy's name. I just subbed to him last night. Um, I don't know. I'm having a brain fart. Yeah, it never used to be that bad. In fact, I got a funny story about that. The one year we went up there. Yeah, Anderson. That's it. Yeah. We went to that up there. We left on a Saturday afternoon, got up to the hotel, checked in, and got cleaned up or whatever, and we were going to Windsor. And when we were crossing into Canada, they asked, or no, they didn't. It was no problem getting into Canada. It was always getting home. So we're up there all night drinking whatever. No one was drunk or anything. We just a couple beers and walking around and whatnot. And we're coming back into the U.S. and they said, "What was your business in Canada?" I said, "Well, we were just bar hopping. No big deal." And they kind of give us a little crap, and then we got in, and my buddies, "What were you thinking? What do you mean? I wasn't going to lie to them. That's what we were doing. We were bar hopping." But yeah, he thought they were going to keep us in Canada. The good old days, I guess. Before marriage, before kids. So yeah, we were up there several times. It was all right, but I never got out of Windsor, so I don't know what the rest of Canada looked like. Yeah, that'd be fun, Brad. Yeah. Anderson Cattle Company, that's the one. Is he up in Alberta too? Oh, no kidding, small town farmer. I didn't know that. I don't have one of those, thank goodness. Yeah, Ontario ag guy. Yeah, the days I can remember, I guess they were all right. Yeah, I don't know what the big deal is about, you know, especially if you're spending money up there. Who cares? Come into our country, spend some money, go home. Big deal. It's the same with Mexico. All they want. Yeah, that's a stretch from Alberta to Ontario. Oh, try to get comfortable here. Jeff Dunham, the ventriloquist. Yeah, he's been in our area before. I think I've had well, maybe not. Oh, what restaurant's that, Logan? I like to eat. I like little mom and pop restaurants better than the chains. Seems like they take better care of you. You been working steady, Logan, or has weather been affecting you guys? It hasn't been bad weather here the last couple weeks. I know we're fairly busy at work, but you know, cold weather drives our business, so. No kidding. Yeah, we don't have set hour. We start at 7:30, but I could be done at. Yeah, that's nice to have weekends off. I could be done at noon. I could be done at 2. I could be done at 6. I could be done at 8. You know, it's just every day's an adventure. Just depends on what we're doing and where it's at. It's like Friday, I was done at 2 o'clock, I think, which was nice. Get the weekend started early. Not that I had a lot going on, but I work for a small heating and cooling company, Brad. We do electric also. Yeah, Scotty, I'm sure you probably have days where you're swamped and other days where you're standing around wondering what to do. That's why I like watching Mr. Nate. I've done electric. Well, that's '01. I started work for an electrician, and then did that for 5 years. And then this company I'm at now, I've been there ever since. My brother and I went there to be the electric guys, and no, I'm not Farmall Fanatic. I kind of like that little thing. I don't use it much, but I had one before this one I have, and it was in a lot better shape. I should have never sold it. But the one I got now, I bought in Pennsylvania, and I'm trying to think where in the world that was. It was northwestern Pennsylvania somewhere. It was only about an hour and 20 minutes from here, or hour 30 minutes. Can't remember the town though. I saw it in. We have what it's called the Farm and Dairy, and I think it's out of Salem, Ohio. You probably get it or have heard of it. They cover like eastern Ohio and Pennsylvania. It's pretty neat. They have a lot of. They got a pretty good classified section in there. A lot of stuff. A lot of. I don't even remember his name. That's been 3 or 4 years ago. It kind of worked out nice. We were slow that year. It was about this time of year. And can you turn that down, please?
Sure.
We were slow, and I had a Friday off, and I called that guy the night before or that week and talked to him, and yeah. And I went out there on a Friday, and I took money with me. I figured I'm not driving all the way out there and not getting it unless it's real bad. It was salvageable. It needed a couple things, but nothing major. And he had a loader tractor. We loaded it up on the truck, and off I went. So, yeah, about a half a day trip. Went out in the morning, came back. I was home 1 o'clock or something. But he was out in the middle of nowhere. It was a dirt road up on the top of a hill. It was real pretty country. But the one I had before, I bought local here about 20 minutes away at a sale, and I think I only paid a couple $100 for the dumb thing. Had it all rebuilt. I put new moldboards and stuff on it, and points and colders, the whole 9 yards. And I don't know, Logan. I didn't make it to that sale, and I don't see it sitting out there, so it either sold or somebody took it back home. How do you bring those comments back up? Whoops. See ya, Brad. Hopefully you go live this afternoon. I'll check you out. Oh, yeah, Logan. Yes, Ontario Ag Guy. I've checked him out. Scroll. Oh, okay. Thank you, Canadian Welder. Anyhow, where was I? Yeah, there's one. I don't know if that. I'll go right by there today. I'll have to look and see if that thing's sitting out. That's just a little over a mile from here, just around the corner. Yeah, I need my. Yeah, I won't even go there, Ted. Yeah. Yeah, I could say something, but I'm gonna bite my lip. Yeah, that thing's in. I don't know what kind of shape that's in, Logan. I'm guessing it's kind of beat. It's been sitting out for a long time. Yeah. Yeah, the moldboards around here are still kind of popular, I would say, because, yeah, Ted. I was going to give you a call here one of these days again, Ted. I saw some stuff last night I was kind of wondering about, but About the moldboards, there's a lot of Mennonites and stuff around here. Amish too. Amish, all the Amish moldboard with the horse. Um, but there's still a lot of Mennonites and guys that still turn it around over every year. Not a lot in the fall, but in the spring. I saw some ground that was turned over this spring here. Gallipolis is probably 4 hours south of here. Actually, the guy I work with, I'm on the install crew, and there's two of us, and he's from Gallipolis. He goes down there for his birthday every summer. Goes back down to his mom. Mom lives down there still, I believe, and he goes down. I'm thinking it's around 4 hours. My grandpa lives in eastern Kentucky, Moorhead, if anyone's ever heard of that. And that's like 5 hours from here, I think, about a 5 hour drive. He used to live in Olive Hill, and we'd go 71 to Columbus and catch 23 and take that all the way down to Portsmouth and cross the river there, and he was about an hour from Portsmouth. But man, I haven't been down there. Oh, I think it'll be 9 or 10 years this summer since I've been down there last. So I haven't been down there for a while, but I used to we'd go down there a couple times a year when I was a kid. We were usually down there on spring break and a week or two in the summer. Mom would take us down in the summer and whatnot, and I loved it down there. Yeah. Yeah, I love it down there. I almost went to college at Moorhead State because he was close. I was going to live with him and go to college down there, but I had cold feet and didn't want to leave home. I probably should have. That would have been fun. Yep, that's right, Scotty. Over the river. Yep. I think Grandpa will be 89 or 90 this. Let's see, Granny just turned 86. I think he'll be 89 this summer in June. And last time I was down there, it was for his 80th birthday. A bunch of us went down, had a surprise gathering for him in a park. But yeah, it's been way too long since I've been down there. But yeah, there's still a lot of... Yeah, I should, before he passes. He's still doing well, though. Or seems like it. Just wish it was closer. What were you saying, Scotty? Your minimum delivery without charge is 200 gallon? I think I'm not sure what it is around here. I usually just have them. Yeah, he was in the Korean conflict. He was in the service. Definitely one of the toughest guys I know. 250, yeah. They used to not bring under 100. It had to have a 100-gallon minimum around here, but it's probably more than that now. I'm not sure. I usually wait till I have a 250-gallon tank. I usually try and get it down kind of low and then have them come. The guy that delivers where I get it, he lives right around the corner from where I keep my fuel tank. So I just call him direct on his cell phone. Yeah, I'm sure everything's up now. Higher now. Especially when fuel got crazy 10, 12 years, whatever it's been ago. Ezell, Kentucky. I've never heard of that. He's oh. Yeah, Ted. 227 a gallon. Yeah, that's probably about what it is around here. Last summer or last spring, I got it for like $1.90 something. 2 times I got fuel and it was under $2, and then I think last fall I got a little bit to get through combining and it was just over $2. But at the pump it's up around $3 now, so I'm sure it's 240, 250 at off-road now. I don't know. You know, they cut you a break for, yeah. I don't have that big a tank, so I can't get that break, but oh wow, Bandit. All right, Ted, we'll see you later. I'll give you a call one of these days. Yeah, that's crazy, Bandit. They don't, unless they figured into, unless they factored into the price. There's no surcharge or anything to deliver it. It's just whatever it is a gallon's what you get paid. No, Ontario Ag, I've never had cattle or anything. I've lived on 2 farms but never owned an animal. Yeah, it was reasonable last spring. 90 cents a liter is a liter more than a gallon or less. I'd have to been too many years out of school. That seems reasonable, but I don't know. Less. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't need much, Bandit, that's probably the cheaper way to do it. Just over a quart. Ooh. $0.90 a quart? Wow. Okay, yeah. There's guys that do that around here, I'm sure, too, do. I've been watching your combine videos, do. You're making some progress. Find any more pipe yet? Yeah, I converted, like I say, I have a 250-gallon tank. I had a hand crank on it for quite a few years, and it wasn't too bad for. Oh yeah, your foot's bothering you. Yeah, he's once he gets his done, I think he's probably going to want to go. He's going to want to make that into a living, going around fixing everyone's combines. He's just loving that. I had a hand crank on that thing, and it wasn't too bad for just a tractor. But once I got a combine too, holy crap! Especially this combine, 82 gallons. That take a while to hand crank that. I got a 12-volt pump I put on it, and my, yeah, I'm sure you do. Put a 12-volt pump on my little 50-gallon portable tank too, and life's much easier. That's probably why I'm getting fat. No rest for the wicked. Yeah, you got that right. Well, guys, I'll tell you what. It's well over an hour here. I was just figuring 5 or 10 minutes, as I didn't know if anybody would watch or not. So thank you for the turnout. This has been interesting. We'll have to do this again someday. Brad said he may do a live stream later today. Ontario Ag Guy, are you still planning on going live tonight? Yeah, if you do a stream, Ontario Ag Guy, I'll check you out. I'll be watching the basketball tournament and checking out YouTube. So anyhow, thanks for everybody that stopped by, and we'll chat with you guys later. I don't know if I got anything. I try to make fairly interesting videos, so I don't have time to make quite a few a day or whatever, but I would like to try and make one a week, but it's just however it works, if there's anything going on. So we'll keep it at that, and hopefully here before too long I'll be changing oil on the tractor and whatnot. So, and Ontario Ag Guy requested a equipment tour. I've got equipment in 3 different places, so it's tough to do an equipment tour. I'll have to do it in 3 parts. So I will try and do that yet. So yeah, time to eat. I ate this morning. I ate earlier, so it's be heading to Mom and Dad's here in a little bit. So thanks for stopping by, Dustin, and thanks for the sub. I saw that. If you have a channel, I'll check you out. And we'll catch you guys later.